So hello everyone, we are continuing with our IGCSE past paper questions, financial statements of a sole proprietor. This is for IGCSE, so the paper code is 0452. We are doing the May-June 2003 paper 2. Now over here, they have given us the worksheet wherein they have made the format and already given it to us. We should know what is there in which column. We just need to write the answers saying what will come here, what will come here, what will come here, what will come here, and all such things. So this is the revenue that is already given to us in the third column. We need to subtract the cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is made up of opening stock, add purchases. So what do you less? We less the purchase returns. So this is the box that we had to fill. Okay. Purchases less purchase returns gives us the net purchases. In the opening stock, if you add the purchases, you are getting 1,30,000. So can you fill this figure? What? To add over here to get 1,30,000, we will just reverse it. 1,30,000 minus 1,18,000. You will get 12,000 that you need to write over here. Check it again. 12,000 plus 118 will give you 130. This is the figure of opening stock at purchases. What do you subtract? We subtract the closing stock. The closing stock, or you can also write stock at 31st of March. Anything is fine. That amount also they have given to you. So less the closing stock, you will get cost of sales. Now sales, less cost of sales gives you gross profit, and this also has been calculated for you and given to you. Okay. Add the other income. We add the other income. First income is rent received, which is already given to us. Next income would be the discount received. This was the figure of gross profit. Rent received, I don't know. Discount received is 3,000. The total is coming to 88,000. Just go upwards. 88,000 minus 3,000 minus 80,000, you will get 5,000 as your balancing figure. So now we've already done this. Gross profit, add the other income, less the other expenses. Now if I less the expenses, the total of expenses is coming up to 58,000. So if we go reverse, 58,000 minus 12,000 minus 3,000 minus 28,000 will give me the figure of the depreciation, which would be 15,000. Just check it, add all the figures, it should come up to 58,000. So 12,000 plus 3,000 plus 28,000 plus 15,000 gives me 58,000. From the 88,000, if I subtract my expenses, I arrive at net profit. So the net profit was given to us. I filled all the blanks which they asked me to. And this is giving me a total of how many marks? It is 6 marks. Next question they've asked to calculate is calculate Andy's net profit. Andy's net profit as a percentage of his sales for the year. How will you calculate it? You will say net profit upon sales into 100. What is the net profit? It is 30,000. What is the sales? The sales is 2 lakh. Into 100. So you get net profit as a percentage of sales, which is coming up to 15%. It is not necessary to write the formula. It is just carrying 2 marks. So 1 mark for showing this and 1 mark for this. Let's proceed ahead. Now they're saying that on 31st March 2003, Andy's capital was 2 lakh. He had long-term loan 50,000. So capital is 2 lakh, long-term loan is 50,000. Capital plus your non-current liabilities or your long-term loan gives you your capital employed. So 50,000 is your non-current liability. So your capital employed is 2,50,000. Because we're talking about capital employed, let's look at the horizontal format of your balance sheet. Here you have your assets, here you have your liabilities. You will have non-current assets, current assets. Here you will have capital, non-current liability, and current liability. Then you would have your total assets, and here you will have your total liabilities. This highlighted part is called capital employed. This highlighted part, that is capital plus non-current liability, is the capital employed. When you directly have the figures of capital and non-current liability, you add the two, you will get capital employed. Another way to get capital employed is from the total assets, subtract your current liability. From the total assets, subtract your current liability, you will get capital employed. What is your total assets? Non-current assets plus current assets minus current liability is equal to capital employed. So over here, I am teaching you 2 ways to find out the capital employed. What are the 2 ways to find out the capital employed? First way to find out capital employed is the liability side approach. Liability side approach is that you have the capital and you have the non-current liability. So in your capital, you will add the non-current liability, you will get your capital employed. The next approach would be your asset side approach. In the asset side approach, you know that your total assets is equal to total liabilities, but I don't need total liabilities. I just want to subtract this to get this. So from your total assets, when you will subtract your current liabilities, you will get capital employed. But we will do it this way. Total assets is equal to total liabilities. Total assets is non-current assets plus current assets is equal to capital plus non-current liability plus current liability. Non-current assets plus current assets, take this current liability over here, minus current liability is equal to capital plus non-current liability. This capital plus non-current liability is nothing but it is your capital employed. So non-current assets plus current assets minus current liability is going to give you your capital employed. This is the asset side approach to find out the capital employed. Now, since you already know about capital employed, Andy's capital was 2 lakh, non-current liability, long-term loan is 50,000. You want to calculate Andy's net profit as a percentage of capital employed. You want to calculate net profit as a percentage of capital employed. This is also called the return on capital employed. Return on capital employed. What is the return? What is the profit that you are earning on the capital that you have employed in the business? What is the profit that you're earning on the capital that you have employed in the business, which is called return on capital employed. So I have to indirectly find the return on the capital employed. So Andy's net profit as a percentage of the capital employed. Net profit I already have, okay, into 100 because I need a percentage. Net profit I already had, it was 30,000. What is the capital employed? Capital plus non-current liability, 2,50,000 into 100. So 3 lakh divided by 2,50,000 into 100. You are getting 120%. So 3,50,000. Sorry, 3 lakh divided by 2,50,000. You will get 1.2 into 100. Okay, I have made an error over here. It is 30,000. So 30,000 divided by 2,50,000 into 100. You are going to get the return on capital employed as 12%. 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this. Okay, you can also find out the capital employed and show them how did you get the working for capital employed. Okay, next question is, give 2 reasons why it is important for Andy to know the net profit as a percentage of capital employed. Why it is important for us to know the return that we are getting on the money invested, the return that we are getting on the money used in business, on the money employed in the business. Why it is important to know. So it is important for us to know the net profit as a percentage of capital employed, because first thing, return on capital employed, it measures the overall profitability. It is measuring the overall profitability of the business. So what is the profitability that you are getting in relation to the resources that you are using, in relation to the resources used. So the first thing, it measures the overall profitability. Second reason that you could give is, it indicates how adequately you are getting the money back to the owner on the investment that he has made. So it indicates the adequacy of returns, how adequately you are returning the money, the adequacy of the returns on owner's investment, how adequately the owner's investment is being used, and how adequately you are returning him profits. It is for 4 marks, so we need 4 points. It enables us for comparison against other investments in the earlier years. Return on capital employed is used for comparison purpose. You can compare your returns with other returns of the other years, or return with other businesses. So it enables, it is used for comparison purpose. You can compare with the earlier year's performance, and you can compare with others' performance. And it also helps us in decision making, whether if our capital is not employed properly, you can decide to change the place where you're employing the capital. Okay, so it assists in decision making. So these are the reasons why we use our capital employed, return on capital employed, okay, as a return on capital employed. So we use it for doing all these things. The formula for return on capital employed is net profit upon capital employed into 100, and capital employed can be found in 2 ways. Either you can use the liability side approach, or you can use the asset side approach. This is a board paper question 0452, May, June 2003.